There's one question that I don't think you've been asked. What was the first conversation you and Chappelle had after the fallout to start back to be friends again? How did that even happen?
I think he was on Oprah. And
with Cosby?
I mean, again, even when you go Oprah, he was on Oprah and you're like, what?
How am I connected?
It's also fucking insane. Like, what happened? And I just called him. I think it wasn't friendly.
Was it something he said on Oprah that made?
Oh, it was many things. Yeah, no, it wasn't friendly. It wasn't friendly until that whatever year that was. That would have been 2006. It was friendly maybe the night Harlan died. I saw him at the Comedy Store. That was maybe 2009. Oh, I don't know what year it was, and then we talked there, and then it just kind of like started trending in a better direction.
Because I mean, obviously, everyone is always more interested in the negativity and the breakups. I'm always just curious about the redemption, like how that comes back together. Because I mean, rarely when people fall out these days,
there's the obvious. There's the obvious. Have more in common, the through line, history, that stuff. That just goes a long way. You know what I mean? Like going like when you bring up, or when I brought up Hollywood Shuffle, like the thing I think about with Hollywood Shuffle is we were writing Half Baked. It was on Comedy Central, and it shows like, let's just keep watching. It's like fucking it's due the next day. I'm like, dude, we have to. If we hadn't stopped watching, we wouldn't have written the movie. Like the movie would have never been made because it was like we were just like, we gotta. So just shit like that where it's just like little moments of like or people do steal car radio, like just shit like that. That's like there's a million of them. So they're just, you can't, I think Seinfeld said like you can get new anything except old friends. Like you can't get new old friends. Like you can't get, I'm not going to have that kind of relationship with anybody.
The history was more important than the fallout.
It's neck and neck. But yeah, it's just like there aren't people like him don't grow on trees in terms of like what they're like, what he's like anyway, as like a unique person to talk to, and to have the emotional history and like time history, just like thousands of hours spent together. So that's the thing where that's like the consideration. Like, and even if I don't talk to him for 6 months, it's like, it's like there's no. It's one of these things where like he'll probably not have a better friend than me, and I probably won't have a better friend than him. Like,
let's deal with each other.
Well, meaning you can live to 200. You're not going to beat it.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like you can. I mean, and vice versa. It's like. Which we've yelled at each other several times.
But I feel like with y'all, it never got to a point publicly of too much disrespect, though.
No, because I don't. It's not. It wasn't. I don't. I respect him. So I respect him and I appreciate him. So it's not like it's. He really did like give me a huge opportunity. So I can't. It's like ethically, I can only get so. It's like wouldn't be right to even talk about anything personal like that. Like I have too much. Yeah, I have respect for him generally, and I respect I respect him as like a comedian I've never met, right? Like just as an amazing comedian, and then to like he specifically helped me, so I can't. There's not. You'd have to get like that Vice from Casino, where he's got the guy's head in a vice. that you'd have to do that. You'd have to waterboard me for a while.
No, Rory and